just don't know if that city's ready to handle that type of event. And I'm just kind of like, why did we pick that as the shining light of a United States where, and maybe I'm not trying to dump on LA or anything, but I wouldn't live there.
I have a sneaky suspicion that Skid Row is going to be immaculate by July of 2028, some way, somehow. I just have a feeling about that.
Welcome to the Family Office, planning for the people who matter most.
All right, congratulations. Never mind, go ahead. We're so excited to get out of the gates. Welcome back. Go ahead, Len. You said it before me. Go ahead.
All right. So, hey, I want to welcome all of you to the Family Office Files. Chris and I are very excited for another episode. We have a lot to talk to you about today. And we're just two guys who've had entrepreneurial experience and differing political views. And so we just want to share with you some of our thoughts about different topics. Today, we're going to be talking about the LA Olympics. We're going to be talking about the whole thing going on with Sydney Sweeney. And we're going to talk about some health issues as well, and also current events. And that's kind of an overarching theme about what we do. And so with that, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So Chris, first of all, how are you, man? How's everything? How's the family?
Everything's great. Just got my kids back from California. They're getting ready to start school this week on the 13th. That's going to be the first day. So everything is discombobulated right now, as I'm sure you know. Yeah,
especially coming all the way from California. Now they're back, and now you've got to get them off to school. And you don't just have one kid, two kids. You have a lot. So
yes, 4 different schools this year. 5 different schools if you count college. So it's pretty exciting right now.
It's a lot of organizing, man. So, hey, hats off to you, man, because I know you have to have some systems and operations in place in the Philp household.
Well, interestingly enough, I usually, for the last few years, I've had one of my executive directors or assistants, so to speak, doing that kind of stuff. So much so that it went to all the school communications went to, an operations email, and they stepped away from that role this year. So I kind of just like, I'm gonna go. I was very confident. I was like, I'm gonna take this on, and I dove into it, and I was just like, it took me literally 2 weeks. It took me from the middle of July to literally, I'm not even kidding you, this morning. Literally this morning, I was up this morning going to a school meeting, and it wasn't until 4 o'clock today, but it was really, the email said it was 8 o'clock today. It was interesting, but literally I have a lot of respect for anybody that deals with that because it's a lot of work. Even with the technology, it's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt. Especially for you and your family. So.
Yes. And just a word of advice to anybody who wears contacts. I've been wearing contacts since I was 8 years old, but I happen to sleep in my contacts, which I've done before, but I happened to do it for the first time in 4 or 5 years. And I gave myself a corneal edema in this left eye. So I had to, and I don't wear glasses because I'm stubborn and I just won't do it. And as a result, I couldn't wear my contacts for a few days. And it was just absolute, don't sleep with your contacts in. I just, for anybody out there who thinks they could do it, you're going to run that risk. It was so odd. It was like I was looking through smoke. That was a couple of days ago and throughout the weekend. So now hopefully, things are moving in the right direction. Outside of that, it's been pretty exciting. Things are moving in the right direction, and I'm just excited for the school year and excited to wrap up the year and see how things end up. How about for you, Len? Anything exciting? Anything going on for you?
We just finished training, well, me specifically, to become a certified assisting and placed specialist. And so I'm really excited about that because I learned so much about working with different people, for example, like construction workers and occupational therapists and different people in the medical field, because as people begin to age in place, they want to have specific ways to arrange their house. And sometimes that requires a complete overhaul. And sometimes that means just adding a grab bar or a non-slip mat. And so just going through the in-depth process of that, it's actually exciting because we're going to actually add on some more layers of value. So I'm really excited about that.
What's interesting is that you said adding a grab bar or anti-slip mat. And it's like, most people wouldn't even think of that. And I would be like, there's numerous times where I looked at it for myself. That's a laugh about it, of course, but no, it's a big seriousness to it.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. No doubt. And I think, just being able to live in a house if you want to stay there as opposed to going to a nursing home, slips and falls are one of the leading causes of death. And so it's really among seniors. And so once you get to a certain age and, you were just talking about your eyes, just think about, when your eyes were 30 and, 28 and 29 and 30, sleeping with contacts is no big deal. But when you're 50 and you're 60, your eyes are older and all of your body parts are older. And the reality is that the body starts to decline over time. And so we've got to learn how to make adjustments in every aspect of our life, man. So it's just interesting how this theme about aging just begins to manifest itself in different ways, man. So we can definitely talk a lot about that, in the upcoming episodes, man. So I want to jump into some current events and talk about the LA Olympics. Is that cool with you?
Okay. I'm good with that. I'm very interested in LA Olympics. The last time was 30 years ago. What was it? Was it Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Was it?
It was in Atlanta, 1996. And so this is the first time, I have written right here, in over 30 years, the Olympics are going to be from July 14th to the 28th in 2028 in LA. So that's one fact. And then, interesting about Atlanta because, it was an event here on U.S. soil where there was an attack there with the bombing and, so many people got injured and things like that. And so because of that, the Department of Homeland Security says this. They said that in 2028, they designated the National Special Security Event, NSSE. And so that means that the Secret Service needs to get involved. And so on August 5th, 2025, President Trump signed an executive order creating the White House Task Force. And so, so you've got all of these upgrades that Los Angeles is talking about and the whole idea of creating a people mover train and all of this money that's going to be flooding into that area. And you're talking about, hundreds of millions of people that are going to be in the Los Angeles area. So there's a lot to talk about and to unpack, man. So I'm really interested in getting your perspective about LA 2028, the White House getting involved and all of that. What's on your mind?
I'm just trying to still figure out who selected LA to be the area to represent the United States of America for the Olympics. Cause I'm just kind of like, how does that happen? I haven't even figured that out yet. I'm just still trying to figure that out because I remember
there's actually a committee. There's an Olympic committee that gets together, and what they'll do is they will select the different the different cities over the next X number of Olympics. And so it's not like every 4 years they'll get together to select one. I don't know which one's after LA 2028, but that had been decided probably, 7-8 years ago. Don't quote me on the exact amount of time, but it was a while ago.
I'm actually looking that up right now. Los Angeles wasn't just randomly picked for the 2028 Olympics. It was a product of a unique. Okay, so see, here's the problem I have. It was a product of unique, see the word unique, behind the scenes negotiation between IOC, International Olympic Committee, Paris, and LA after bidding process that took a surprising turn. LA originally bid for the 2024 Summer Olympics competing against Paris, Budapest, but by 2017, most rivals dropped out. So in other words, they got the deal on this behind closed doors. So some type of unique agreement or negotiation. It's just interesting to me because I don't know. I mean, my thoughts on there is like, I don't know if LA is ready for something like that. Or maybe I'm wrong, but I've driven around LA. I've experienced LA just as recently as 2 months ago. And honestly, even by SoFi. Have you been to SoFi? Have you been to SoFi and all that?
I have not been inside of the stadium yet, but I've been over there quite a few times.
You've been in the area.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, for sure.
The challenge I have with everything in that... Go ahead, Len.
It was just an aside just to say I've been to lots of events and driven over there and experienced the traffic and all of that. So I have a general sense of where you're going with that. So go ahead.
I went to SoFi. I went around there, City Walk. I went to, interestingly enough, the JW right there by City Walk and everything, or not, I might be saying it wrong, but City Center, Staples Center, all that stuff. And you have graffiti towers. I'm sure you know what that is.
LA Live.
Yes, LA Live. And you have you've seen the graffiti towers, right? Graffiti towers, the vacant. I'm just like, to me, the problem is that anything that is there, it's nice when you get in, but it's not nice when you get out. And to me, the Olympics is this big thing where it's outdoors a lot. And you have, where are they going to put the village? Where's that going to go? I mean, to me, it's like, I don't know if that city is ready for that type of influx, number one. But not only that, it's a lot of cleanup. And I know it's a few years away, but I mean, just the controversy behind it is just, the transgender athlete ban and the local backlash with critics. LA is its own kind of thing. You saw that with just them continuously bucking, the national trend. But I just don't know if that city's ready to handle that type of event. And I'm just kind of like, why did we pick that as the shining light of the United States? Where, and maybe I'm not trying to dump on LA or anything, but I wouldn't live there. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't live there. Even if I was in Hollywood or any of that stuff, I wouldn't live there. And I remember when I worked in the entertainment industry and I had to travel to Melrose, and this was back in early 2000s, I still didn't like to go there. And that was like 02, 03, 04. I'm just kind of, how is that going to play out? I'm just curious to see how that's going to play out. I don't know if the city's ready for it.
Okay, well, I think the argument for it is that the Olympics was in LA in 1980. So they've had experience hosting an Olympics. So that's one. Number two, if you look at the area of Los Angeles, like the greater Los Angeles area, I think a lot of times what happens is Los Angeles gets dumped on by the media because of Skid Row. Rightfully so. I think the homeless issue has become a major problem and it's exacerbated over the years. And that's a big issue and that's real. I've seen it with my own eyes. We've gone to feed in Skid Row during holidays. So you've seen it yourself because we were there together. And so and only has it grown even since then. So that's definitely a factor. But if you look at on the flip side of it, you look at UCLA is nearby. So you've got a large campus where you can have lots of events. You have USC that's nearby. You have a large campus that can host lots of events. Then you have the LA Coliseum and then you have SoFi Stadium. So from a venue standpoint, LA is definitely ready for it. So that's one thing. Quick sidebar, when you look at places in the past that have hosted events, the Olympics rather, a lot of times those stadiums are not used anymore. Like when you look at Beijing, that whole area, that whole Olympic Village is a ghost town and nobody uses it anymore. And so with LA, the infrastructure for the events is there. Now, one point that you really have that you're on point about that I think Los Angeles really needs to focus on is the infrastructure from the standpoint of traffic. So they are building a people mover train, but the problem is that, there's so much traffic and I just don't know how much they can build to help curtail that between now and then. I mean, right now it's 2025. So unless they build a number of additions to the subway, because I just don't see the people mover train being the solution. But in terms of venues and the niceness of the events, like once you're there, it'll be great because they have plenty of venues that'll be able to be great hosts for any of those types of events, whether it's swimming, track and field. They'll be able to do that easily, even more so than in 1980.
I definitely see the point, and I agree with you with it, as far as venues. I mean, LA is definitely, it's definitely built out for that. You've got a lot of that good stuff going there. Again, the problem I just see is that infrastructure is, not only is it not capable of handling that kind of people, but it's ugly. Like, it's just like you go inside and it's nice, but once you go out of there, it's ugly. And then, I don't know. To me, it's like, I'm excited about the Olympics. I'm excited that it's in America. I'm excited that it's there. I'm excited it's in my home state, but I'm just not excited about the fact that it's in LA. Just can't get over it.
I think that, so to me, I agree with you about the ugliness of it. Because when you drive into the Staples Center, which is now crypto.com arena, where the Lakers play and where the Clippers used to play, you've got the Intuit Arena, which is beautiful, SoFi Stadium, which is beautiful. And even the surrounding areas over there, they're absolutely amazing. So one interesting thing that typically happens during the Olympics is it's amazing how well things get cleaned up. And so I have a sneaky suspicion that Skid Row is going to be immaculate by July of 2028, some way, somehow. I just have a feeling about that. Now, what they're going to do in between now and then, and where they're going to take the homeless and reship them and redistribute them, I think that's another question. And I definitely think, I'm glad you're bringing this topic up, because this wasn't on my radar, but I think following that trend of how they're handling the homeless, and are they going to put them on buses and displace them other places? I have no idea, but I'm very interested, because I promise you, if you decide to come to LA to go to an Olympic event, you can come hang out, because I'm going to plan on going, and we'll see. We'll take a drive around, man, and maybe we can, shoot some video and upload it to the YouTube, man, and, see what happens. But I believe that LA area and Skid Row is going to be cleaned up by then. My assumption.
So are you proposing to take me on a date and go to the Olympics together in 2028?
Yeah, man.
If you are, I'm game. I'm game for that.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it. Absolutely.
I've never ever been to one live, so I would love to go to one live. I would love to do that. I'll take probably some of my kids with me, but I think that would be great. I just hope that the same people that are making the People Mover are not the same people making that we're doing high speed rail in California, because then there's no chance in that. Not trying to kind of throw anything your way on that one, LA, but
no, that's a good point. Here's the difference. Here's the difference, though. The high speed rail is inconsequential as it relates to America's sense of projecting itself on the world stage. The Olympics, all eyes are on the US. So you best believe, having a president like Trump who doesn't like to be embarrassed, you best believe LA will be immaculate.
You think that's why he's stepping in?
Oh, well, I think it's that. And then I also think because in the last Olympics, you had the bombing in Atlanta. So being able to come in and sweep the area, make sure checking once, 2 times, 3 times. I think it's going to be one of the most secure venues in Olympics that has ever taken place in the last 100 years, for sure.
100%. I agree with you. The thing that gives me optimism and hope about the LA Olympics is the fact that Trump did pass that executive order, or is passing that executive order, and is stepping in, and there's federal management of it. That, to me, I feel like that is the game changer. And really, to be very transparent about it, I really think the Olympics should be federally oversought, with conjunction with the state that is being hosted, and just simply because it is a national event, right? I mean, I think that that's a good idea to have that. I don't think a lot of people are saying, it's federal overreach and things like that. But I mean, I think it's a good thing that to have that federal oversight on there, federal resources involved in it. And I mean, we've proven time and time again with, the onset of Doge and all these things, local municipalities over the last 5, 10, 20 years have done an abysmal job of managing books, finances, money, and spending money on appropriations. And to lend to your point, I think that will also give us a good chance to stop waste. Like you have said, a lot of these Olympic villages I've even seen in South America, they're built out and then they never use them again. So I'd like to see those resources there. And I hope for your sake and anyone else that is living in those suburbs of LA County or the outskirts of LA County, like San Bernardino, Riverside, all those cities that were great. LA County does have a historical record of busing the people they don't want in their county anymore to those counties. So I know that, and I've seen that. So hopefully that doesn't happen again with those wanted. They want them now, but unwanted until they come back for voter registration again. And that's a whole other topic we could talk about. I'm not trying to throw a sidebar in there at us, but you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I definitely want to follow that story because like I said, until you brought it up, it wasn't even on my radar as even an interesting topic to discuss. But I think if you dig beneath the surface, it's this whole idea of putting on your pretty face when, companies around and what happens after that, what's going to happen to those areas after that. And so I'm really interested to see how that unfolds. So, all right. So again, I hope that all of you got some value from two people that have opposing views on many topics, but also similar views on some topics. And we just think that there should be another voice here in the country that is opposing in viewpoints, but still can have a cup of coffee with each other, hang out, and still be friends after a disagreement. And so if that's you, we want you to be a part of this community. Feel free to reach out, comment, tell us what you agree with, tell us what you disagree with. And we certainly are wanting to be open. And as we grow this community, we certainly want to open it up and get to know you better. So with that being said, have a fantastic day. Like, subscribe, and till next time, take care. Bye-bye.
See you at the Olympics.
That's right.
Conversation has given you clarity on your next steps. Please share this episode with someone who's walking the same path. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss future episodes. And remember, planning ahead isn't just prudent, it's an act of care. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Family Office.